Where is it? Where is it? There it is! Ah! Got the new Kindle. This is the $79 US version, the brand new Kindle. Comes in a Amazon box like your books do, but with a subtle difference. It's angled on one end and says Kindle, so thieves know you got a Kindle. All right, let's open it up and see what's inside. Hopefully it's a Kindle. Easy opening Amazon box. Look at that, right off the top, right inside. There it is. Now, you know, this one doesn't have a keyboard, so that's the difference between this and the old models, which are now called the keyboard Kindle, the Amazon Kindle keyboard. You take this out, toss, oh, okay, so here's our plug cable. So it's a USB charging cable. Now, here, this is interesting. Is there a plug? Ah, that's part of the reason it's $79. No electrical outlet. You only get the USB cable. And here's the manual. To charge your Kindle, connect it to the USB cable, then connect the opposite end of the USB cable to a computer or power adapter sold separately, and then turn it on. That's okay. You know, for 79 bucks, what do you expect? This is the Kindle, very tiny, very thin. It says Kindle on the back. Pretty typical stuff there. Now, I know a lot of you don't like to take these parts off of your gadgets, but you kind of have to if you want to be able to use it. Now, this is not a touchscreen Kindle. That's different than the Kindle Touches that were announced. This is just a regular old basic model Kindle. And, you know, I didn't read the part where it said how to turn it on. I guess you just push the front button. Now, it's, you know what, it's telling me I gotta plug it into a computer. There's the power symbol, so that's how you turn it on. It is not coming very charged, is it? Oh, no, there we go. Yep. Turn it on. Now, if this works the way all other Kindles work, it will have already associated it with my account because I am an Amazon Kindle previous owner and I have all the apps and everything. So right now, it's probably checking, what would it be loading? It doesn't have 3G, so it's not connecting to a 3G connection. It's just loading up its operating system. All right, so it actually took longer to boot than it took to order it. Here we are. I'm going to choose English, US. Yes. Easy to navigate. Buttons work pretty nicely. What could it possibly be doing? It just must have a really slow processor. All right, there we go. Welcome to your Kindle. Connect to Wi-Fi. A Wi-Fi connection. All right. Let's connect to TWiT guest. That's our open Wi-Fi, although it does have a password. So we're gonna have to go up there and enter a password. How's that gonna happen? Press keyboard to begin typing. Okay. Oh, I pressed the menu button. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. All right, so there's your keyboard on the keyboardless Kindle. So, you know, this works like any other on-screen keyboard that you would have on a game console or something. You just have to go and highlight each word and type it. That's how you're going to be able to use the store as well in this thing. Not terribly convenient, but at least you can enter things. So there we go. I'm done. It does not hide the password, by the way. This is an open password, but just, you know, it's good policy not to show people your password. All right, setting up the Kindle. There we go. It looks like it is connected to TWiT guest. And it has identified it as my second Kindle, which is odd because I have lots of apps, but this is the only other actual device, Kindle device that I own. Currently registered to me, yes. No, I can use that account, that's great. Setup is complete. Oh, I have two options, learn more or shop in the Kindle store. What if I don't want to do any of the other? I guess I have to go to the Kindle store. It's just gonna make me go there. All right, and search the store, you would do the same thing. You'd press that keyboard button here and start typing stuff, but I am gonna go home. Take me home. Transferring your Kindle content. Well, here's how you transfer your Kindle content. I go to my archived item. It's going to show me every book I've ever bought from Kindle. And there you go. I can download any of these books, archived items, now that I've eliminated PEBCAC. I press these. These buttons are on the sides, which I never liked on the original Kindle, but they don't press very easily. I've been gripping this thing, didn't even know they were there, so that's good. You have to really push them. I've done a better job on that over the years. And there we go. I'm going to download Reamd, a novel by Neil Stephenson. See how long that takes to download. Got 4 bars on the Wi-Fi, pretty good signal, shouldn't take long. Battery came 3/4 charged, so this thing hasn't lost a lot in storage. These haven't been sitting around for that long, frankly. And there's the page I was last reading, last time I left off with Reamd. So there you go. All right, well, you know, we shouldn't really be standing out here on the street reviewing this thing, so let's go inside and compare it to a couple of other things. I don't really need to compare it to an actual book, but I've got here the Amazon Kindle Fire. Oh wait, no, that's actually the BlackBerry Playbook, although it's very similar. No, I've got here the original Amazon Kindle, a little bit bulkier. In fact, this original Amazon Kindle could eat this original Kindle. In fact, this new Kindle could be the backplate on the original Amazon Kindle. This came out in 2007 for $399, mind you. This one, $79. This is an unfair comparison, but this is the Nook Color. This is really more the competitor for the Amazon Kindle Fire, not this cheap little Amazon Kindle, but there you go. That's the size comparison there as well. But let's talk about how this actually works. Now, we saw it come out of the box. We saw how it looks when you set it up. One thing to notice is that you get an advertisement here. So I just changed the advertisement, right? Because I turned it off and turned it on again. That's why it's $79. It's going to cost you more if you want to get it without advertisements. But the only time you see the advertisements are here on the start screen, instead of these lovely woodcuts that you used to get with the old Amazon Kindle. And then you see a very small banner ad at the bottom of your menu. And frankly, most people say in daily use, they hardly even notice they're there. I don't know if that's a good thing for Amazon, but it means you might as well go with the subsidized version that has the advertisements because you're going to get it for cheaper. Now, let's look at some of the other things that you've got going on. It is very simple. We talked about how it doesn't have a keyboard. You have an on-screen keyboard. You have to navigate with these buttons down here. But it does have a menu system. You have press this menu button, and you have the ability to change the font size when you're in a book. You can do searches. You can search for books in the store. You can create collections, which is one of the newer things in Kindle in the past year or so, is the ability to create a collection of books so that it doesn't clutter up your screen as much. You can force it to sync and check for items. And you can go in and view the ads, if you really wanted to. Change the settings. We'll take a look at that in a second. And check this out. Even though it's the $79 item, you get the web browser. I know it doesn't have built-in 3G, but you want to check Wikipedia, maybe you want to post to Twitter or something, you can do that with the experimental web browser. So that's kind of cool. This left button over here on the far side is the back. So want to go back to where you were, you can do that. And now let's go into the menus and let's look at the settings. Essentially, you can deregister the device. So if you decide to sell it or give it to a friend, you want to unhook it from your account so they're not spending all of your money when they download books. You can change the device name. It automatically named mine Thomas's second Kindle, but it's not really my second Kindle. I could name it Fred or Bob or whatever I want. You can view the Wi-Fi networks. If you've got several options and you want to change options, that's where you would do that. And you get the MAC address and all of that device stuff if you need it. Let's move on to the next page. These buttons are actually a little hard to use, at least at this angle. You can set the language of your Kindle. You can get the email address of your Kindle. So if you want to send documents to be converted, you can do that. It costs you 10 cents. You can put a password on to secure it. You can set the time. You can select default dictionaries for when you're looking up words. You can share notes and highlights with friends using Twitter or Facebook in this social network, and then you can set up those social networks there. And finally, you can turn off popular highlights, which is that thing that shows up when you're reading. It'll underline something and tell you how many other people have underlined that particular passage. You can show highlights and notes from other people. If people are sharing notes, you can turn that on and off here. And automatically back up any of your notes, because this has the full capability to do highlights and notes. And so you can turn off or turn on the automatic backup. And then you can add personal information to your Kindle there. I never do that sort of thing. Final button over here on the right is Home. So to review these buttons, you got a back button, you have a keyboard button, you have your navigation button and your select button in the middle, you have a menu button, and a home button right there. When we mentioned collections earlier, they're really kind of painful to set up on this device. You have to go in, you have to set the collection, you have to go into menu. Here, I'll go into a collection. This is a collection of books that I've written. I press the menu button. If I want to add or remove items, I have to add it there. Then I have to highlight it. Then I have to press add. It's kind of time consuming to make large collections, but it does help, you know, clean up your home page if you want. If you want to delete an item, like for instance, this how to transfer your Kindle content, you press right and you highlight remove from device and you remove it. All in all, this works great. It works like all the other Kindle e-ink readers that I've ever used. As far as reading a book on it, I don't even notice any difference. The resolution is good, the ease of use is good. The page flash has reduced. So it gets this black flash sometimes when you change pages. It doesn't do that every page anymore. It does it only every 3 or 4 pages. And I hardly even notice that it's happening. It's extraordinarily light. I mean, compared to this first Kindle, it feels like it's about 1/3 or less the weight of this Kindle. And the screen is still the same size. I mean, you look at that. It's almost like an optical illusion. Like this fits right on top of there, but that is the same size screen. And it's a little better resolution, frankly. It's a little better e-ink screen. So all in all, I say, look, if you're gonna buy somebody their first ebook, this is the one to get, $79. You cannot beat that. That is the price to get people into reading ebooks. And the ability to download right from the Kindle has always been one of the advantages that the Amazon has had, even if this doesn't have a 3G connection. It's a little bit kludgy to connect with Wi-Fi, but if they've got Wi-Fi at home already, that should be no problem to set up once and then forget about it. Now the negatives, well, you don't have that keyboard, so it's a little bit kludgy to add things in on screen to buy books. It's going to be easier to go plug it into your computer, search for books there, have them sent to the device than to buy it on screen, in my opinion. You also only get a sync cable, which is going to be important if you want to take things from your computer, drag them across, and put Word documents to read or PDFs on here, although PDFs have to be converted. For charging, you're going to have to charge it on your computer. Now, you get 2 months of battery life on this thing. You don't have to charge it very often, but it is kind of a pain. I think what Amazon is thinking, hey, for $79, you probably have an iPhone cable or another kind of phone cable that's USB that you can plug this into. If not, they do sell an adapter that you can use to charge your Kindle. But that's the only negative. Overall, I give it a thumbs up. I say buy the Amazon Kindle. We're calling it the $79 model to separate it from the keyboard models and the Fire models that are coming out. That's it. I'm Tom Merritt, TWiT.tv.